welcome to the F1 Debate Show. Has Sebastian Vettel lost his mojo?
We talk about Lewis Hamilton and his attitude towards social media.
Is Hulkenberg leaving Force India?
And we talk about the constructors' standard after Mercedes lifted the championship for the third time in Japan.
But first we are going to be talking about Sebastian Vettel and his future, not only at Ferrari but in Formula 1, and it has come under the media spotlight in the past few weeks. Now, as you all know, Sebastian Vettel, four-time world champion, a very talented driver, amongst the legends in Formula 1, holds many records, and it is a bit of a weird situation to be talking about him possibly leaving Formula 1 in the future. Martin Brundle came out at the Japanese Grand Prix and he was saying Sebastian Vettel is so off form right now and lost his way in Formula 1 that he might not be here for that much longer. Now, I think Sebastian Vettel has got another 2 years at his contract with Ferrari, so I think he's going to be here for a long time after that. But it's all about his future, whether he can win another championship with the team. Alonso had pretty much the same question in his mind: can he win a championship with Ferrari? That's why he's there for. I mean, throw yourself back a fair few months now to pre-season 2016. Sebastian Vettel, second season with Ferrari after a very successful first season, let's say, because of the domination of Mercedes, domination of Lewis Hamilton, and obviously the poor form of Sebastian Vettel the year previous. So that season, 3 wins from 19 races. Very good for Ferrari on their terms anyways. Coming into this season, everyone was tipping them to becoming challenger for the constructors. Vettel being involved with the World Championship, maybe potentially beating the Mercedes, and pretty much by Russia, that's all went pear-shaped. That's gone. Ferrari stand no chance, and recently it just hasn't got any better. I mean, I think with Singapore he was out in Q1 because of a rolling bar problem. I mean, strategies just haven't helped him. Engine failure. I think he had one in Bahrain going to the grid, and then he had one again. He didn't have one. He had a blowout in, I think it was Austria. So I mean, all these problems happening for Sebastian Vettel just cost him points, cost him leads in the championship. And I understand why people are pressuring him to deliver and to do well. But at the same time, you've got to think about Sebastian Vettel. He's a 4-time world champion, Elsa. We even said that he could actually have a shout at this championship this season at one stage. We even said right at the very start of the debate show,
the first episode,
exactly. And how wrong were we? You know what I mean? But I mean, should people be questioning Sebastian Vettel's future just because of his recent form, or maybe people should look at the bigger picture and be like, he's a 4-time world champion. You can't just judge him just from this little patch of form. It's.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think of all this?
I mean, the thing that I don't like about Sebastian Vettel is he seems to jump ship as soon as something gets a bit difficult. Now, obviously, as we all know, he joined Red Bull in 2009, one season just to he got a few wins under his belt, getting comfortable. 10, 11, 12, 13, won championships, amazing car. He was happy about that, and then 14 came on. It was a difficult season for him. He was winless, but also, if anything, he was being made a bit of a. He's being made a bit of a fool because his younger teammate, again, another Australian, who obviously he was now the eldest out of the two. Obviously, remember Mark Webber, he was the youngest then. Yeah. So he was the eldest out of the two, and he had loads of backing from the team. And then, young Daniel comes in and wins 3 races, and Seb doesn't. He jumps ship to Ferrari straight away. Now, obviously, as JT, it's a massive dream, as you've said, to drive for Ferrari. I mean, Red Bull are a team that gave him everything. But obviously, Ferrari, everyone wants to drive for Ferrari. So going to Ferrari wasn't such a bad decision for him. Yeah. I've got to say, though, I did just hope that, around, let's say winter test in 2015, obviously Australia 2015, you were thinking maybe you should have given Red Bull more of a chance. He should have stayed in 2015, he should have fought with them, he should have been with them, because obviously they gave him a world championship, and obviously a lot of drivers have done that, apart from people like Fernando Alonso and Jenson Button have obviously left straight away after they've won the world championship, but things have been different. They've either come to the end of the contract, or the team, like Jenson Button's career, the team just wasn't there anymore. So, I mean, that was one of the things that I didn't like about Sebastian Vettel. Obviously, he had 3 wins last year, which was absolutely fantastic, and then this year's got hard for him. Now, if he leaves, I think that probably wouldn't be the best decision for him. I mean, he's still in Formula 1, he's still in with a shout, which is good from him, good from his part. But, I mean, he's an old driver. He's been in for a very long time. Next year, obviously 2017, marks his 9th year his 9th full season in Formula 1. And obviously he started He started midway through 2017, the 2007 US Grand Prix, but his first season within 2008 with Toro Rosso, obviously the first Formula One team of the Red Bull Junior program. Then went to Red Bull the year after. Also, a fun fact about Sebastian Vettel: he has won in every single year of his career, apart from 2014 and 2016. So obviously, as we know, 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 15. He's won a race every single year, which is a fantastic stat for him. Obviously, not counting 2007 because that wasn't a full season, and then he just hasn't won his last season at Red Bull. And could this be his last season at Ferrari? Well, I really hope not. Yeah. He's not given them much of a chance. I've got to say, really isn't. It's a hard one to say. As you said, JT, he's got 2 years on his contract. Yeah. Again, that's a strange one. It means that they don't have to be dry. It's a bit like Jensen Button. Obviously, he's contracted for a few more years, and he's going to be working behind the scenes at McLaren. Obviously, because he's stepping down at the end of this season to let Stoffel Van Dorn drive. I just hope that Sebastian doesn't leave because he's an old soul in Formula One. He's somebody that obviously we all looked up to. I did. That's obviously why Red Bull Racing was such a great team, because they had Sebastian, and obviously they were a great team running around. Obviously they had Adrian Newey and people like that in it. So yeah, I hope he sticks by it more. But the main thing out of what you've just said, JT, is obviously he went to Ferrari wanting to win a world championship.
Exactly.
And that's why everyone goes everywhere. I mean, Fernando went to McLaren to win a world championship. That's why anyone goes anywhere. So
exactly, that's always the main aim of Formula One. It doesn't matter how many world championships you've got, you always want more. People like Button and Hamilton have said that. When you win that, when you've achieved it, it's not a case of what do we do next. You want more. You know what I mean? And obviously, when there's options out there, you always think, like, well, obviously, look what Hamilton did at McLaren, won world championship in 6 years, and he's like, I can achieve more, and everybody knew that. He goes to Mercedes, he's on the verge of winning 3 in a row, in I think about 4 years, I think now. So obviously, very good move there. But Sebastian Vettel's move hasn't really been as successful. And I mean, the team principal Maurizio Arrivabene has said that Sebastian Vettel has to earn that contract, which I think that's a good statement in my opinion, because when drivers such as Hamilton, Alonso, and Button, people think that they just glide through their careers in Formula 1 without even worrying about performances because of the legacy that they've had. And Sebastian Vettel, 14 world champion, you expect him to be in Formula 1 because of his past, and now obviously an old school boss like Arrivabene, he's seen like Schumacher and Alonso, great drivers that come and go. So he knows how the game works. He's been in the game a long time, and he doesn't want people to be just to cock about basically. He'd just be like, I'm 14 world champion, I can just glide here. You've got to earn your place, and Sebastian Vettel has to do that, and I believe he can do that. I believe maybe next season, hopefully that'll be the case. But to be fair, if Vettel does go, I will be good, because everyone was tipping him to be to beating Schumacher, to be the next big thing. I mean, he is the next big thing, but he hasn't made much of an impact because of his bad seasons that he's had. But I think Sebastian Vettel should stay in Formula 1. I believe he will stay in Formula 1. I think this is just a bit of a under fire media thing, let's say, because of his bad form and obviously of his recent history and stuff like that. So I think Sebastian Vettel should stay. He will stay.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably just a bit like a self-doubt as well, because, as you know, he hasn't won since Singapore 2015, which was a very, very, very long time ago. But it's such a long time ago. Also, as well, which is quite good on Sebastian's part, is every time we were getting to a race that he's won before, obviously, like Malaysia, he won last year, Hungary won last year, and then Singapore we got last year. We were always saying, this is Sebastian's first win, Sebastian's second win, Sebastian's third win. Can he do it at these races? But just one quick thing before we go off Sebastian, JT, I've got to say that's why Lewis Hamilton, just obviously he's our next topic, we'll go on to in a minute, but I want to say I do respect him a lot for that. Obviously, since he'd been at McLaren since 2007, won his World Championship in 2008, and then Ford until 2012, and then he had been in Formula 1 for a long time, a moderate time at that point. He was a world champion, and he did kind of treat going to Mercedes like, am I worth it? Am I worth going? Is Mercedes worth me? Like, can Mercedes afford me? It's, can I be up to Mercedes? And also, can I fill the boot of, obviously, 7-time world champion Michael Schumacher, who stands down?
Standards. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So that was a massive thing for Lewis. I mean, obviously, we knew that he was chuffed to bits for the decision. Obviously, when Niki Lauda, that's when he started to play a big role in it, because obviously, not sure why, but he was brought in with getting Lewis into the team and all that, and this was supposed to be a big thing. So Lewis going to Mercedes was a big thing, and Lewis, still, quite young at that time, world champion, but I don't think he came as brash as he does now. But obviously now times have changed, and I do agree with JT. A bit like Sebastian Vettel now is, I think maybe Lewis has his head screwed on a bit like like Sebastian did at Red Bull, and now he is at Ferrari. That is Mercedes worth me, but Lewis will never go in in a bit. But obviously, the thing that might kick Lewis out is what he does off the track, and that's going to be our next topic we're going to talk about. Now, this came to rise from it hasn't actually came to rise very soon. It's been for a few years now, but obviously from what he did in Japan in the press conference off the track, that's why I think this conversation, this topic needs to be sparked, and that is Lewis Hamilton's attitude on social media. Because so I'll just give you the rundown. Obviously, if you don't have what's called Snapchat, and if you don't have Lewis Hamilton on this form of social media, now obviously it's a great piece of social media. Obviously, to use to send photos and things on there. You can put a story on which lasts for 24 hours, and some celebrities do have it. I wouldn't say it's as big as Twitter, but obviously it is getting to that point where celebrities do have it, because it's just more of like an insight into what people are doing in their lives. So I think about 3 drivers have it, but obviously the biggest one is Lewis Hamilton. It's just Lewis Hamilton with a checker flag at the bottom. It will be underneath this video to find. And so obviously he's probably got a good few million fans in the world who watch his video, his snaps and pictures and videos and all of that. Now me and JT have them, so obviously we can speak firsthand of what we see. And there's a good few things that obviously you must look and you go, wow, he must be enjoying himself, things like that. Obviously a lot of things to do with the racing, where he's at tracks, he's doing the track walk, he's at hotels. He's flying from place to place, obviously, so when they go all around the world, which is great to see. Because if Formula One's an international place, so to see some amazing sights, Far East to America, and all that in between. So obviously that's really, really good. But there's a few things that he does, which, I mean, you've got to say, it does spark the conversation of, is he, as JT said to me, getting this ball rolling? And this is probably almost the word of the debate show. Is Lewis Hamilton a good role model off the track? I mean, it can be on the track, because a lot of us aren't Formula 1 drivers. So off the track, is Lewis a role model to us? Now, I'd say, he does do well, but obviously there's a lot of things that he does which are very extravagant. And I'll tell you the things that I think are. Now, obviously, he goes around, he's young, he's single, and he does kind of live that kind of lifestyle. But the thing that you are, a three-time world champion, sorry, I don't want to step the gun yet, possibly, controversy. So I don't want to step the gun too much, but obviously 3-time world champion, young and single, he probably lives that life. But when you've got so many fans, should you be really affording that? And obviously, again, another big thing, which I've got to say, it was mentioned once in the press conference when it happened, but it kind of slipped under the radar. This was before the 2016 Australian Grand Prix. Obviously, in winter testing. Now, there is on Snapchat, there is a dial where you can record your speed. Lewis Hamilton was, again, very publicly shown riding a motorbike, showing the speed of the motorbike. So he's going quite fast, speed limit and all that, he wasn't speeding, but he was showing the snap, he was showing the speed of the snap. That is also very, very, very dangerous, because obviously I've noticed saying don't snap and drive, because obviously if you're looking at your phone, it's illegal to use your phone and drive as well, and he should know that, because he actually did a video along with Allianz in 2013 which said don't, if you can't, where he did a distraction video with Nico Rosberg. Again, you'll find a link under that below. It's quite a funny one. He did one about distractions, and he says mobile phones are dangerous. He even states that in the UK, obviously where he's from, where me and JT are, it is illegal if you're found to be doing that, alongside little stupid things like if you're not wearing a seatbelt in your car. Anyway, so there was that. That was a big thing, and I thought that should have been pushed on a bit more. He's done a lot of other crazy things, like he's crashed his Zonda in Monte Carlo. But the biggest thing was his press conference in Japan on Thursday. Now, I did see this. I did watch the press conference. I assume JT did as well. But what I didn't even understand was, because I saw him on his phone, obviously, when they went, please welcome the drivers of the 2016 Japanese Grand Prix, and they were listing them all off. He had his phone in plain sight in front of him. Obviously, big purple thing it was, or big pink thing, whatever the colour of his phone is. You can't miss it. He had it out. He had it out all press conference. But again, what slipped the eye, because obviously the cameras didn't pan around to him, but what he was doing, he was on Snapchat. Now, I mean, obviously that's incredibly rude. Obviously, again, another fact that JT said was that these people, the media, they've paid a lot of money, they've given the time to go and sit in this press conference. And what is Lewis doing? He's kind of like saying, no, I'm going to be on Snapchat, I'm going to do what I want. Now, that was very rude what we saw. And when the pictures were published online of what he was doing, he had some pictures of the drivers, including Carlos Sainz, with the bunny ears on his face. And again, another one that got me was he did one with Kimi Räikkönen. Kimi didn't look very happy, but obviously I think he has all right to, and I don't agree. I don't think that he'd be smiling in that. He did a snap with Kimi, and the caption was, "This S word was killing me." Now again, obviously we don't mind swearing. We don't have it on the show or anything like that. But again, I don't know if he was trying to do it to look cool or something like that. But also, it's just little things like that. People are going to be reading these snaps, and I just don't think it's appropriate. And there's a lot of things that he does aren't appropriate. And obviously that was a massive thing, and it's really been in the news so much, saying that what's Lewis Hamilton doing, why is he doing this, what is the reason? Is it because he was on top, because he's a world champion, because he's a reigning world champion? Is he just young, free and single? Is he having fun, or is he almost like becoming a James Hunt off the track? Last thing I just want to mention before we go to JT, that was another thing that I wanted to mention. People were saying that Lewis Hamilton was a James Hunt character, but obviously the times have changed from the 70s. People don't smoke in public. In magazines and stuff, saying, "Oh, this is a cool thing to do." It's not like sex, drugs, and rock and roll have kind of died out now. But is Lewis kind of treating Formula One like how James Hunt did back in those times? Obviously, again, James didn't have Snapchat or a mobile or even a mobile phone on him. But obviously, is Lewis Hamilton kind of resurrecting that? So JT, obviously this is a massive story, something that obviously we have really wanted to talk about since it obviously broke last weekend. So why do you think Lewis Hamilton does it? Obviously I know that you'll wake up in the morning to about 20 stories from Lewis Hamilton. So why do you think he does it? Because he obviously he's having fun,
of course,
but there's a lot of times he can't overstep the boundary. Do you agree?
I do agree, if I'm honest, because I know that he's trying to show off his lavish lifestyle, because I've seen like a picture of his plane, or when he's travelling, when he's doing music, that kind of thing. And he could. It really depends how people approach it, because people approach things differently to what everyone else does. Like someone might say, "Oh, look, he's showing off." He's like, "Oh, look what I've got, and you haven't," that type of thing. But then he could be showing off. He's religious. Lewis Hamilton's religious, so he could be saying, "Look, this is what God gave me," type of thing, which is. Well, that doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like he's on that side, so he could be saying, "Look, this is what I've earned." You know what I mean? Like this is the lifestyle I live. I want to thank you guys for giving me this, for all the support and everything. So in terms of the press conference, like, it is rude. I think it was rude. And to be fair, I think it is right to get all this media attention, because it's exactly the same as having your phone out in class, in a way, at school. Not as bad, but. Like, you're being talked to, you need to be listened to. People have came all this way, just to to write down to talk to you. They're listening to you. Just because you're a Formula 1 driver doesn't mean to say that you've got to, be this arsehole that you are, and just, ignore them, just be arrogant in a way, and just be like, "Oh, I'm gonna.
I was that. I was that at school, by the way, guys. I was the one with the phone behind the desk.
See?
It's a bit different though. I'd rather be like a pundit, interviewing Formula 1 drivers than a school teacher.
Yeah.
No offense if you are a school teacher, but it's just one thing that JT does say about that. I do agree. Because he does do a lot of these snaps where he's got the location on. A lot of them are in Manhattan. Again, somewhere just to show off and place like that. One thing I don't like about Lewis doing this, and again, this might be a bit controversy. I don't think it really matters. But he always says to places like America and New York, "I love this city." And I've got to say, remember, Lewis, you are from the UK. Just calm down a bit. He never goes. I've never seen one snap where he's back home at Stevenage, snapping. I've never seen him in Newcastle upon Tyne going, "Look who's behind me! It's JT and LC."
That'll be
just on the key side.
He'll be asking for our autographs.
Absolutely amazing. But by the way, JT, just one last thing to mention this. He snapped all the way through, but since he lost the World Championship lead, and obviously since after what happened in Malaysia, and then what's happened in... it wasn't really bad in Japan, but obviously it's not second, and it's definitely not first. He snapped a lot less. He sent one the other day, I've forgotten what it was. It was like a horizon of the sun or something like that, and it had loads of little text at the bottom saying, I'm thankful for living, thankful for being a Formula 1 driver.
He always seems to do that when something goes wrong. I've noticed that. Whenever he has a bad start or a bad race, he'll always say, like, I am appreciative about this life I live and stuff, and I thank God not. He always does, and I'm like, you're trying to hide something here, Lewis. You are trying to hide something.
Exactly. He is. But obviously he's very much... he's very happy with his fans. He always says thank you. As JT said, he's always like, "Thank you very much, fans. I can't do it without you." And that's nice. That's nice. But again, if he didn't say that, I think that would not look great. But last thing about this, JT, is he just doing that to mask his kind of overstepping the boundary. I remember also when we went. He was in Mexico about a few months ago playing with tigers. I just thought again, come on. It's either I don't know what was that showing off, or was that almost me pushing because obviously that's dangerous. Playing with tigers, they can kill you. I'm not saying they'd kill Lewis Hamilton, but well, if one was called Nico, maybe.
Exactly.
So when I saw him playing with the tigers, I was thinking, as you say, JT, is it showing off? Or is it showing off? Yeah, money, kind of experience, my presence, or is it saying, look at how much I'm risking. I'm playing with tigers here. These cold-blooded animals who live in where do tigers live? I don't know, wherever tigers live, in outside. So why do you think he did that, JT? I just remember that was a big thing.
I remember them Snapchats. Yes, I watched them all. There were like about 1,000 of them. It was very annoying after a while. Tigers were nice, by the way. Obviously, this is the Tiger debate show, but never mind. I don't know what kind of approach he was going to. I think it was just a casual look what I'm doing type of thing. When his fans are thinking, what's Lewis Hamilton up to these days? What's he doing on Snapchat? I'll post to my fans, I'm playing with some lions, I'm playing with some tigers, or whatever he's doing, and it is dangerous. I doubt if there were killer lions or whatever, that I doubt Lewis would be in there, because otherwise they would eat him for breakfast. Basically, it'll be. But
I don't think there's a difference, JT, between
just a little Mercedes cap in the middle, rest in peace, Hamilton.
Yeah, but I think all tigers are killers. I don't think it's like whales. Like you've got some friendly whales, and then you've got the killer whales in the other room.
Much, yeah, the other room. But
whales in a room. Yeah, a room with water. I'm not that cruel.
Exactly. Don't question us, guys. We're not environmental people or whatever. But I don't know what approach Lewis Hamilton has to Snapchat. And I believe he should calm it down, especially, at the winter time when obviously Formula 1 it's ended, he's with the family for Christmas and New Year's. He should post some nice stuff, happy stuff and stuff like that. I imagine if Nico Rosberg was on Snapchat, he would be posting family time. Obviously, he's got a kid, he's got a wife, he's settled down, that type of thing. Hamilton is like LC stated, he's young, free and single, so he can do whatever he wants. I've seen him at clubs and stuff, which. When you're young, free and single, obviously that's the lifestyle you want to live. Before you settle down, that's fair enough. But when you're doing stuff like in the press conference and stuff, as I was saying, it's rude and it is pathetic. And he's kind of stating that he's getting the impression, look at me, I'm Lewis Hamilton, I can do what I want. I don't have to listen to you people. You know what I mean? Thinking that type of attitude, just because it's him, it's like. No, Lewis, you are human. You got two eyes, 2 arms, 2 legs. You're still human at the end of the day.
Yes.
You just earn more money than us, so it is stupid. But people need to Lewis Hamilton. So the next topic to move on to is the possibility that Nico Hulkenberg could be leaving Force India. Now I do know that he has recently signed a contract extension with the team, but recently I've seen articles and stuff about. Nico Hulkenberg leaving Force India to go to Renault. Now this is all a bit bizarre because look where Force India are and look where Renault are. It's a big difference. And for Nico Hulkenberg to drop down to Renault, it's a bit like, what are you doing? I think he would get the same reaction as to what Lewis Hamilton got when he left McLaren for Mercedes, because at the time they were a midfield team, and obviously McLaren had a brilliant 2012 to a certain extent, and people were like. Hamilton, what's going on with him? What's he here for breakfast? You know what I mean? I think this is going to have the same approach should he go to Renault. And obviously Renault have been targeting drivers such as Grosjean, Perez and Bottas to go on to next season. Now Renault haven't had a good season. They are looking to change, if not one, both their drivers. Obviously we did a big debate, episode 2, about all this. And at the time we didn't have a clue that this came into it, so we were saying that Nico Hulkenberg is more or less secured. Turns out, well, he is in a way, but there is other options still out there. And obviously Nico Hulkenberg, very talented driver, all that investment obviously jumps over to Renault. But I think it's all a bit bizarre that he could leave a team such as Force India who are on the rise, or is something bad happening behind the scenes at Force India that could force. Do you like what I did there? Yeah. Force Nico Hulkenberg to leave, because it was funny when Hamilton left McLaren. McLaren have been bad ever since.
Yeah.
Now, what's going on behind the scenes of Force India? Does Hulkenberg know something that we don't? and maybe that's why he's jumping ship to go to a team like Renault to help them out in terms of investment and stuff. Now, the driver in question as to who he will replace is Julian Palmer, who he scored 1 point. Yeah, he hasn't had a good season, unfortunately. It has been a season to forget, but people should never judge him on his first season and let him progress and get better. This is his first season Formula 1, for God's sake. So I think if he were to leave, that would be a bit in doubt. So the guy who is in favour of filling in that Force India seat will be Pascal Wehrlein, being promoted. Obviously, Force India, Mercedes engine, manner, it all works. So jumping up to there will be good for really good for Pascal Wehrlein. Should Force India carry in that form, he's a very talented driver. So that's the situation at the moment. So I don't know what really is going on right now, because I'm baffled at this, in my opinion. I think, what is going on? But remember, don't jump to conclusions just yet. He might not go, he might stay Force India, or the reason why he could be going is because of what is going on behind the scenes. We all know that Force India are bad at financials right now, but they are doing good this season. But look at Lotus 2012, 2013, brilliant season. 2014 fell apart.
Yeah.
Just because of finances. So this could happen to Force India, like now, then obviously right and left to Ferrari. So, LC, Hulkenberg leaving Force India.
Yeah.
Do you think this is because he wants to drive for Renault, or do you think this is because, hang on, something is going on behind the scenes of Force India here that none of us know about just yet?
I mean, when you say obviously something could have happened to Force India behind the scenes, that could have been a possibility. Again, that could be a possibility why Daniel Kvyat left Red Bull Racing, because, I mean, by the way, we will always talk about this. I think we'll be talking about this when the F1 debate show hits year 2022, because obviously, as we know, Daniel Kvyat had a podium, one more podium, a podium in Formula 1, obviously in China, and we voted driver of the day. Anyway, get me off there. Obviously, Nico Hulkenberg, if he left, obviously he's doing well at Force India, but if he left, there's no I don't think there'd be any reason why they get rid of Nico Hulkenberg. Yes, as we always say, he's Mr. Neely man. He's always there. He's always, he's crept up to the podium quite a few times, but he's never managed to get on there. Also, JD, if you said to me that Nico Hulkenberg was leaving from Force India, if he was going to, let's say, Porsche in the World Endurance Championships, which obviously, as we know, we've driven before, he's been in Le Mans, I would say, yes, by all means, Nico Hulkenberg, you go. But again, it's Renault. And JT, I mean, you've said, why would anyone go to Renault? I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless, obviously, he's found a diamond in the rough like Hamilton did. But I don't think Mercedes were at Renault level before Hamilton obviously got there, because they had in the team, they had obviously 7 world championships, obviously with Michael Schumacher and Nico Rosberg, who, even though he was very young at that time, obviously he had a race win under his belt, and he was growing with the team German, had been there since 2010 when they came from the Ashes.
Exactly.
Renault, I don't even know. I mean, is that even a real option for him? Is that even a real venture that he should be looking at? I don't think so. I like Nico Hulkenberg at Force India. He's very much comfortable. He had a great race in Japan as well. So I think to that he'll say, see you later. To that offer, he'll say bye to the Renault offer. Thank you very much, JT. Thank you. I take my hat off. So he'll say bye to the Renault offer, and he'll stay at Force India. I really hope so, because Nico just needs to be in Formula 1. He goes hand in hand. The Hulk. And yeah, just what an amazing guy to have in Formula 1. So I think he'll stay. He very much needs to, because they're embroiled with that fight with Williams, remember. And I've got to say, I think JT, I mean, I know nothing has been confirmed yet, but they're ahead of Williams at the moment. So I don't see any reason why Nico would say, right, I'm getting out of here. If they were behind, let's say they were 10 points behind Williams, that's when he might say, right, I'm going to jump ship. And again, that might have hindered Sergio re-signing or not. But they're not. So let's just get on to the last topic which we're going to mention, which we're going to talk about the Constructors' Championship. Now, obviously, now we've got 10 teams battling, because, as you know, now Mercedes, team from Brackley, are very much safe. The champions. The triple, hashtag the triple, is what they have on their new shirts now. They have done it, so obviously very, very well, very, very, very well done to them. Thankfully, we can put that. Also, the drivers can put that out of their mind as well and focus on the World Championship, which is what they're going for. As you remember, Nico Rosberg's kind of ran into the distance. He can still be caught, but it's looking like I don't know. Especially with Nico with his very new engine. Only about a race and a half old now. Lewis using an engine which has loads of hours.
Don't say anything, because I was saying this to my family members before. Rosberg had a 43-point lead. He lost
Yes.
it. He's got a 33-point lead. Don't say he's safe. Do not say it. It's not over.
I know it's not. It's not over till the fat lady thing sings. So, so anyway, getting back to the constructors, obviously a big thing to fight about. They're at the top, very much safe. So the team in second place, or technically at the top of the table now, is Red Bull on 385. But then 50 points, a whole 50 points behind, are Ferrari. Now, yeah, a long way behind in 50. Now they could catch if they pull some things out of the bag. Now Red Bull are on a real form. That's absolutely great from them. So Ferrari, I mean, it is mathematically possible that if they have a very good consistent double points finishes, and Red Bull again they do the same, but Ferrari could creep up to them very soon, and obviously if they get 1-2 in the next round in America, that puts them only 7 points behind, say if Red Bull don't score, but that would be absolutely unbelievable if that actually happened. So yeah, we've got 50 points from Red Bull to Ferrari. Force India are definitely not going to catch them. They're almost 200 points behind Ferrari. Wow. But obviously Force India have their own battle going on. It's a battle, half a battle if you like, because now they're 10 points ahead of Williams. Is that safe? Well, it's promising. Again, it's promising for things like the team, for investment, for sponsorship, and also for their two drivers. Sergio Perez, that will have affected him signing, and thankfully he's in the green about that. Nico Hülkenberg, as we've just said, maybe not, but hopefully that will change his mind, because again, obviously Force India, if they're going to come out ahead in this battle, and Renault are in 9th place, just ahead of Manor and obviously pointless Sauber. Why would Nico leave? So 10 points ahead of Williams. Williams are going to have to pull something out of the bag if they want to do anything like that. 60 points behind them are McLaren, and they're ahead 20 points ahead. I'm trying to do math in my head, guys. 25 points ahead of Toro Rosso. In 7th place. Toro Rosso, I don't think they're going to change really. But a team that I'm really backing to creep up on there, they are 19 points behind, is Haas. They could do it. I really hope they can do it. I mean, remember Romain Grosjean, points finish in Australia, point finish in Bahrain, came out of absolutely nowhere. So can he just do it? Let's just say US and Mexico, back-to-back races. Just do it. Just do it quickly. Double points finish, get up there, because I'm going to say where it depends where he finishes. If he does a double points finish and Toro Rosso don't score, you never know. That could be 19 points in the bag right there. Probably not.
Exactly. As I said, say nothing.
Yeah, there's 8 points in both races. Toro Rosso both out. Let's hope they can do it. I'm very much excited about this. Renault behind in 20 points, behind in 9th place with 8 points. Manor still living on Pascal's 1 point from Austria, not looking like they will score any for the rest of the season. And then obviously Sauber. Somewhere at the back, I think.
I'm just waiting for the Sauber.
Oh yeah. To be honest, we could Mercedes have already been crowned champions. We could crown Sauber 11th place right now. Should we do that, JT? Should we just crown Sauber 11th place right now? So there we go. There we go, guys.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Well done, Sauber. Well done. 11th place.
Do you know what? I know exactly what's going to happen now. In America, they're going to get 10. They're going to get 7th place, and we're going to be like. Oh, well done. The F1 division curse has struck again.
Let's go out on a limp and say Sauber are not going to score any more points for the rest of the season. So yeah. Anyway, guys, that is it. The constructors is very much heating up now. I mean, it's all about the drivers, but for the remaining 10 teams, it's about the constructors as well. And it's incredible to think about. That obviously, as I say, 50 points separate Red Bull and Ferrari, 10 points separate Force India and Williams, and then again, it's all to play for the lower teams. And Sauber, you still have a battle, 1 point to Manor. So yeah, as JT said, if you get 2 points, if you get 9th place or 8th place for 2 points, 9th place, yeah. Yes. If you get that, which again is possible, we've seen drivers do that before.
Here's a question for you guys: Will Sauber score points from now to the end of the season? Yes or
no? Question mark. Please let us know what you think, because that would be great. And again, they could leapfrog obviously Manor if they get 2 points, and be tied with them if they get 1. So yeah, it's all great to play for. So anyway, that's the constructors. It's very much heating up.
It is.
Anyway, guys, so thank you very much for watching the F1 debate show. Please catch our US Grand Prix preview, which comes out next week, and then also the Big and JT, the F1 debate show, episode 29. But it's not just the episode 29, is it?
Is it LC? What's so special?
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you. Do you want to come here? I'll tell you quickly. It's our 100th episode.
100th episode?
The double bagel guys of since the F1 Debate Show started. So obviously all the way back in February, we've done 100 episodes. I mean, come on. You can count them as well. We're not lying. You can count them if you want.
We're not.
But yeah, absolutely amazing. So we will see you obviously for the US Grand Prix preview, and then our 100th, and then obviously the day after will be the preview of the race in the States. Everything's bigger in Texas, so can Nico Rosberg get a bigger lead on Lewis Hamilton? We'll see you then. Bye bye, guys. So he's very low, and then obviously after the first corner, I mean, he would probably be almost crying in his helmet, thinking, "I've lost this championship, haven't I?"
Yes, exactly. I think a lot of fans thought that at the start. I did as well, because I'm like, oh, there's another bad start for Lewis Hamilton. I've always associated Lewis Hamilton with good starts, and